mag-pretest. So, isi-share ko sa chat box yung link for pretest. Then, mga 3 minutes or less. Ayan, so nakasagot na po lahat. At, so meron tayong 30 responses. So check natin yung questions dun sa pre-test. Then, ano yung mga naging answers nyo? So, naka-random yung question ha, kada isang respondent. So, yung first question, lang, na record. So, the first question is, this is a technique that can be used by a decision maker that is faced with situations with multiple objectives. So, yung majority, ang answer is goal programming. Then may nagsagot ng linear programming and may deterministic dynamic programming. So majority is goal programming. For the second question, in solving problems with multiple objectives, the analyst aims to blank the amount of deviations from the desired goal. So meron lang kayong two choices. It's either you maximize the deviation or minimize the deviation. Pero majority, parang 2/3, answered na minimization or we minimize the deviations from the desired goal. Then, yung last question is, ayan, medyo hati yung sagot. This is a case wherein a hierarchy of priority levels for the goals is present so that the goals of primary importance receive first priority attention and those of secondary importance receive second priority attention and so on. So, karamihan nagsagot ay prerequisite goal programming. Then may essential goal programming, may preemptive, and the least is the non-preemptive goal programming. So check natin mamaya kung ano yung tamang sagot. Yan. So, share ko lang yung slide ulit. bago tayo magpunta sa goal programming, let's do a review on how to formulate LP models. So this is a review on LP model formulation. Isang problem lang naman. So the problem is, a company produces two products. So those products are products A and B. And the sales volume for A is at least 80% of the total sales of both A and B. However, the company cannot sell more than 100 units of A per day. Both products use one raw material, of which the maximum daily availability is 240 pounds. The usage rates of the raw material are 2 pounds per unit of A and 4 pounds per unit of B. The unit profit for A and B are $20 and $50 respectively. So we are tasked to determine the optimal product mix of the company. So this is just a review. So di ba we have 4 factors. So meron tayong decision variables, objective function, constraints, and non-negativity constraints. So ano ba pag sinabing decision variables? How will you identify yung decision variables? Parang may papasok pa. Si Ella, what are decision variables?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ito po yung mga ano po, unknown fact.
Mga
Yung
unknown.
kailangan pong, yung mga variables po na under control po ng system.
Yung mga variables na under control ng
Control.
system. So, decision
Yung kailangan
variables
po ng,
are the unknown variables. So, for example number 1, yung the AB company, what are our decision variables?
yung X1 po is, for X1 po ma'am.
Yes po.
Yung ano po, yung number, yung amount po ng liver for the patient's daily diet po. Tapos yung X2 po is para po sa amount naman po ng steak for the patient's daily diet din po.
Iba yung problem natin, Ella. AB company.
Ay, product A po sa X1 to be produced daily, tas sa X2 po is product B.
So, we define X1 as the units of product A to be produced daily. And yung X2 are the units of product B to be produced daily. So, ano pa po ang decision variables? Meron pang isa, di ba? So, iba
Yung
naman.
ano po,
Thank you, Ella. Iba naman. Si Denzel.
Hello po.
Ito po.
Zay po.
So, Z is used to represent the.
Total daily profit po.
So, for this problem, C is used to represent the total daily profit. Then, ano naman pag sinabing objective function? So, si Lomboy, Gabriel Angelo. Ay, sorry, ano, pangalan nito, Jenny. Hindi ko nakikita kasi yung raise hand ko ang screen ko. Si ano muna, si Lomboy. What is an objective function? Hello. Nandyan ba sila? Yeah, okay, wala. Si ano na lang, si Jenny. Santos Ildes.
Yung objective function po, yun po yung goal po. It's either maximization po or minimization.
So the objective function is the goal of the problem. So it's either maximization or minimization, yung optimization. So for this problem, what is our objective function?
Maximization. Sorry.
Sige.
Maximization po.
So we maximize.
Max Z is equals to 20x1, $20 x1 plus 50x2 po.
So the objective function is max Z is equal to 20x1 plus 50x2. So yung 20 and 50 are from this statement. The unit profit for A and B are $20 and $50 respectively. So you will multiply the unit profit by the number of units. So ito yung unit profit, this is the number of units, plus for product B, the unit profit plus the number of units. Next, so ano naman pag sinabing constraints? What are constraints? Si Jeffrey Rupido.
Good morning po. So yung constraints po yung restriction or yung limitation po sa problem natin.
So yung limitations sa problem. So pwede kang mag-produce ng product A and product B, pero may restrictions. So those are the constraints. So what is the first constraint? Sige, Jeffrey, ikaw pa rin. Based from the statement, yung pagkakasunod-sunod.
Pwede pong random.
Sige.
Sige po, sunod-sunod na lang po. So yung una ko po nakita is yung x1 is less than 100 po. Doon po sa sales limit.
So x1 is less than 100. Dito siya sa the company cannot sell more than 100 units of A per day. Okay, thank you. Yung iba naman, ano pa yung ibang ibang constraints? Iba naman ang tatawagin ko. Si Maria Maricar Tinaco.
Yung next po yung x1 po, 2x1. Tapos po yung plus 4x2 po.
So yung 2x1 plus 4x2 ay?
Less than or equal to 240.
So less than or equal to 240. So yan ay from the statement. The usage rates of the raw material are 2 pounds per unit of A and 4 pounds per unit of B, of which its maximum availability is 240 pounds. Ano pa yung isang constraint? Ayan, nakita ko naka-on ang kanyang camera. Si Maritoni. What is the last constraint?
Ma'am, hindi ko pa nakikita yung na po. Yung screen na po.
Yung nakikita?
Okay na po, ma'am.
Yung iba nakikita niyo ba?
Okay na po.
Okay na. Sige.
Constraint. Apo. Isang constraints lang po, ma'am.
Yung last na constraint, yung hindi nabanggit kanina.
Ano po? X1. Ano po? Greater than equal 100 po.
Greater than or equal to 100. Pero parang nasabi na siya kanina. Yung isa pa, si Kyle.
Yung ano po, about sa sales volume ng A po, ang sabi is sales volume for A is at least 80% po. So, X1 is less than or equal to 0.8 times X1 plus X2.
So, yung second sentence, the sales volume for A is at least 80% of the total sales of both A and B. Pwede siyang isulat as this constraint. X1 is greater than or equal to 80% kasi at least 80% of the total sales of A and B. So, 80% multiplied by the summation nung representation ni products A and product B. So, that is 80% times X1 plus X2. Then, yung second constraint, the company cannot sell more than 100 units of A. So, may limit si product A na 100 per day. So, that is X1 is less than or equal to 100. Then, yung last constraint is meron lang isang raw material na ginagamit na ang daily availability is 240 pounds. 2 pounds yung usage for A and 4 pounds yung usage kay B. So that can be written as 2x1 plus 4x2 is less than or equal to 240. And last is non-negativity constraint. So, bakit tayo gumagamit or ba tayo naglalagay ng non-negativity constraint?
Ano po, ma'am?
Sige po. Sige po. Sino may mag-recite? Si Lloyd.
Ano po, ma'am? Kaya po tayo kumukuha ng non-negativity constraint para po yung makukuha nating value sa mga decision variables natin is hindi magkakaroon ng negative values po.
So, we indicate or we add non-negativity constraints to the LP model for us to obtain positive values lang dun sa defined decision variables natin. Kasi hindi pwedeng ang value ni X1 or ni X2 ay negative. Kasi wala namang negative units of product A and negative units of product B. So if you have two variables, you will define those two variables as greater than or equal to 0. Kasi yung Z, automatic yon na magiging positive. Kasi pag positive yung value ng variables, and then, syempre, positive din yung profit. So yung Z will be automatically positive. So yun yung review natin for the LT model. So, ano yung difference between linear and goal programming? So, in solving linear programming problems, there is always an assumption that organizations usually only deals with problems that has single objectives. It's either you maximize the total profit or you minimize the total cost. Diba? Most of the problems that we have solved no OR1, isa lang yung objective niya. Diba sa exam? Kahit sa long exam 1 or long exam 2, we have a single objective. It's either you maximize the total profit or you minimize the total cost, or you maximize or minimize kung ano man yung requirement of the problem. But in reality, hindi siya ganon. But organizations usually have more than one objective. So most businesses frequently focus on a variety of objectives. So here are some examples ng objectives ng organizations. Hindi lang kasi siya maximization of profit or minimization of cost. It can also include maintaining stable profits, increasing or maintaining market share, diversifying product offerings, maintaining stable prices, improving worker morale, and increasing company prestige. Diba kahit naman you as a student, you have more than one objective. Diba? Ano ba yung objective nyo? Parang 1.5 years from now, what are your objectives? Tingnan natin kung may objective sila sa buhay. Si Nel. Ano yung sample ng objectives ng isang estudyante? Siya na si Nel. Nag-FB live na. Hello. Si Venus na lang. Venus. What are your objectives?
Good morning po.
Morning po.
After po ng 1.5 years, makagraduate po.
And,
Tapos, naghahanap na po ng work. May work na po sana sa isang company. Tapos, nakakatulong na po sa parents.
so yun yung mga usual objectives iba pag newly grad. Ngayong SEM, ano ang objectives mo? Si Lilian.
Ano po, makapasa po sa subject and
And
yung thesis po ay yung every chapter magawa ko.
makapasa sa subject and magawa ang thesis. So, di ba,
Po.
yeah, thank you. Unusual for a person and syempre for an organization to have a single objective. So, kaya hindi masyadong ideal si linear programming. So, mas maganda is to use goal programming. So, goal programming provides a way of solving several objectives simultaneously. So, isa siyang way kung paano natin ma-achieve yung objectives na to ng sabay-sabay. So, paano natin siya isa-solve? Isa-solve mo ba muna yung maintaining stable profits? Parang isa-solve mo siya ng kunyari, isang simplex method. Then, after nun, isa-solve mo naman yung increasing or market share. So, ganun ba siya? So, mamaya, we will know how to solve, pero ngayon naman is formulation pa lang, how to formulate goal programs. Then, mas ideal to for siguro thesis. Kaya lang, yung objectives should be quantifiable. Dapat may value siya. For example, improving worker morale. Mahirap siyang i-quantify. Paano mo masasabi na nag-improve yung morale ng employees? And increasing company prestige. So, caution lang in formulating objective functions. Dapat they should be quantifiable. Dapat may value. So, yung goal programming can be thought of as an extension or generalization of linear programming to handle multiple but normally conflicting objective measures. So, para rin siyang linear programs, yun nga lang, mas madaming objective functions yung kaya niyang isolve. So, ganun yung goal programs. Nakukuha po yung concept.
Yes po, ma'am.
Salamat sa nasagot. Wala pa naman nag-o-observe, huwag kayong kabahan. Wala pa nga ba? Wala pa. So in goal programming, one can expect that although there is a set of feasible solutions satisfying the constraints, none of them may simultaneously satisfy all the conflicting goals of the organization. In simple terms, kunyari, kayo, estudyante, then you have 5 subjects. Tapos you have different goals for each subject. Kunyari, subject 1, goal mo to get a grade of 1. Sa isa, 1 to 5. Sa tatlo, 1.5. Diba? The objective of goal programming is to determine kung ma-achieve mo ba yung 1, yung 1 to 5, or yung tatlong 1.5. Or if hindi mo siya ma-achieve, gaano kalapit yung grade mo dun sa desired na grade mo. Parang ganun siya. So, the objective of goal programming is to find a solution that satisfies the true constraints and comes closest to meeting the stated goals. Kunyari yung 5 subjects are sobra siyang time-consuming. Diba? Kunyari gusto mong makakuha ng 1 sa lahat. But each subject, meron siyang sobrang hirap na requirements. So, kung hindi mo man makuha yung 1 for all, ano yung magiging grade mo, ano yung mga possible grades mo dun sa 5 subjects that are close to your goal. Yun bang subject 1, possible ka pa makakuha ng 1.5? Yung subject 2 ba, hanggang 275 ka lang ba? So, ano yung lapit or layo ng answers dun sa define mo na goal? So, that is goal programming. hanap natin yung closest dun sa stated goals. So, the basic approach of goal programming is to establish a specific numerical goal for each objective. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, that in formulating your objectives, there should be numerical value. Para, kunyari, ang efficiency ngayon ay 70%. Then, pag sinolve mo siya, magiging 90. So, mas madali mo makikita if meron ba siyang may difference siya. Kesa dun sa good versus satisfactory. Or parang satisfactory versus very satisfactory. Hindi mo siya ma-quantify. Then next is we formulate an objective function for each objective and then seek a solution that minimizes the weighted sum of deviations of these objective functions from their respective goals. So kung yung aim mo ay sa 5 subject ay 1. So ang GPA nun ay 1, di ba? Then after ng SEM, ano yung magiging grade mo? Gaano siya kalayo? Yung GPA mo nung end ng SEM, gaano siya kalayo dun sa goal mo na GPA na 1? So, yun yung deviation. Pag sabing deviation is yung difference or yung layo. So, yan. Nandun sa pretest. We minimize the sum of deviations of these objective functions from their respective goals. So, parang marami kanina ang nagsagot ng maximization. But the answer is we minimize the deviation. Kasi pag pinalaki mo yung difference, from 1 na GPA, baka nasa 3 na siya. Diba? Pag sinabi kasi we maximize the deviation, pinapalaki mo yung agwat. Whereas, yung minimize the deviation, ano yung mas malapit? Ano yung mas ideal? Or gaano kalapit sa 1, yung possible mong maging grade. So, we minimize the sum of the deviations. So, goal deviation. So goal deviation is the difference between what we desire to achieve and what we actually achieve. So for example, nung nag-enroll ka ng OR1, ano yung inaasahan, ano yung gusto mo sanang grade? Maghanap tayo ng si Eva. Ano sana yung gusto mong grade
po, ma'am.
OR1? Hello.
Ano po? Uno po, syempre. Shumere.
Shumere. So, yung goal mo is to have a grade of 1. So, yun yung what Eva desired to achieve. Pero, ano yung actual na na-achieve ni Eva?
2.5, ma'am.
2.5. Mataas pa rin yun. So, 2.5. Sino pa? Wait lang, meron pa tayo na iba. Si Paula Frias.
Hello po, ma'am.
Hello po. Ano yung iniisip mong magiging grade mo sa OR1?
Mga ano po, 2 po.
Mga 2. Tapos, ang nakuha mong grade ay?
1.25 po.
1.25.
Opo.
Sipag. So, yung goal deviation, ano yung pagkakaiba nung gusto mong makuha na grade versus yung actual na grade na nakuha mo? Then, yung goal deviation, meron siyang 2 types. So, first is the positive deviation or overachievement. Ito yung nangyari kay Paula. Diba? Ang gusto niya lang grade or ang iniisip niya lang na grade is 2. Pero nakakuha siya ng 1.25. So that's positive deviation. Yun eh for the grading system dito kasi sa ibang school, iba naman yung grading system. But considering yung case ni Paula, that's a positive deviation. So kung may positive, merong negative deviation. Ito naman example lang yung kay Eva, pero maayos pa rin naman ang grade niya. So the negative deviation is also called underachievement. So pag ano yung gusto mo versus sa nakuha ni Eva. Ang gusto ni Eva, 1. Sa nakuha niya, okay pa rin naman, 2.5, pero hindi siya nagtugma, di ba? So kahit ang gusto mo ay 1, nakakuha ka ng 1.25, that's still a negative deviation. So pag positive, mas maganda yung nakuha mong answer or nakuha mong value, pag negative, mas mababa. So those are the two types of goal deviations. Then, meron naman tayong 3 types of goals. So, meron tayong first. Pwede kayong mag-notes ha, kasi mamaya merong example para mas masundan natin. So, yung number 1 type of goal is a lower one-sided goal. So, pag sinabing lower one-sided goal, this sets a lower limit that we do not want to fall under. Pero pag nag-exceed ka dun sa limit na yon, okay lang. Usually, ito ay defined by the objectives or constraints na may limit, may lower limit. Parang the profit should not be less than 55 million. So yung 55 million, yun na yung pinaka-ceiling niya sa baba. So that's the lower limit. Pag sinabing upper one-sided goal, this sets an upper limit that we do not want to exceed. But failing under the limit is fine. Kunyari meron kang project, then ang budget mo is 100,000. So yung 100,000, that's an upper limit. Kasi pag sinabi mong project cost, di ba, you do not want to exceed that defined amount. Sorry. So, pag lumampas ka sa 100, hindi na siya maganda. Or hindi na siya pleasing to the eye. So that's the upper limit. Then yung last, yung third, is a two-sided goal. So a two-sided goal sets a specific target that we do not want to miss on either side. So ano kaya example ng two-sided goal? Meron ba kayong naisip na example ng two-sided goal?
Pag equal po yung constraints.
Pag equal yung constraints. So, thank you, si Janine. Ano pa? Ano kaya yung example na pwede yung two-sided goal? Si Mickey.
Good morning po.
Morning po.
Para sa akin yung two-sided goal, yung example niya po is, for example, nag-set ka ng time na dapat hindi ka lumagpas or bumaba dun sa sinet mong time para sa task na yon.
Kunyari ay meron kang task, so thank you, Vicky. Tapos, sinet mo kunyari 4 hours para matapos yung task na yun. So, hindi ka pwedeng lumampas or hindi ka pwedeng bumaba, hindi ka pwedeng tumaas. So, for example din, hindi ko alam kung may nakakuha ng problem nung long exam, yung merong mga materials na for expiration. Parang sa flour ata yun. So, if yung item is for expiration na, so kailangan mo na siyang i-consume totally. So, tama yung sabi ni Janine, na pag ang constraint ay naka-equal sign, so that's a two-sided goal. Dapat, hindi siya bababa at hindi rin tataas. So, we do not want to miss on either side. So, pag lower one-sided goal, meron kang lower limit, and hindi ka na pwedeng bumaba doon. Pag upper one-sided goal, meron kang upper limit at hindi na pwedeng tumaas doon. And two-sided goal, specific yung target. Then, meron pang isang terminology sa goal programming that is called the aspiration level. So, the numerical value specified by the decision maker that reflects the desire or satisfactory level with regard to the objective function under consideration is called the aspiration level. So, if we will recall, yung AB company, di ba, ang goal niya is to maximize the profit. Yung maxi is equal to 20x1 plus 50x2. But if sa problem, may naka-indicate na the organization wants to have at least $100,000 na profit for each month, yung 100,000 na yun is the aspiration level. Diba? Meron kang objective pero nilagyan mo siya ng value. So that is the aspiration level. For example, so suppose the company wishes to maximize profit, which is formulated as max z is equal to 2x1 plus 3x2. Diba, we usually define our objective function this way. Pwede siyang max z or min z. Then is equal to the summation of kung ano yung profit multiplied by the decision variables. Further, suppose the management wishes to have at least 40,000 as profit. Then yung statement na to, this statement, dapat daw ay meron siyang at least 40,000. So mababago yung formulation natin sa kanya. It will become 2x1 plus 3x2 is less than or equal to 40,000. Para ma-define natin tong at least 40,000 as profit. So, from the usual na objective function, yung objective mo, para siyang nagiging, yung structure niya is para siyang constraint. Diba? Meron siyang left-hand side, may inequality sign, and the right-hand side. Pero this is still the objective. So yan, sinulat ko lang ulit yung dalawang statements. So here, 40,000 is the aspiration level with respect to profit. Kasi yan yung dinefine niya na gusto niyang value ng profit. The company aims to maximize the profit, pero dapat yung profit daw should be at least 40,000. So yung 40,000 is the aspiration level. So an objective function along with its aspiration level is called a goal. So dyan na papasok, kaya siya naging goal programming. Kasi yung objective mo, meron siyang value. Diba yung dating sinosolve natin, yung objective function, kung ano yung lumabas na value ni Z, yun na siya. Diba? Pero ngayon, meron siyang limit. Meron siyang aspiration level. So in these examples, the relation, yung number 1, this is an objective function, and sorry, while this is a goal. So number 1 is an objective function, number 2 is a goal. Question po sa goal programming.
Wala po, ma'am.
Wala po, ma'am.
Intindihan niyo ba?
Yes po.
Tulog pa.
Ay, ma'am, meron po
Oh.
ako. Pwede po bang maging, good morning po,
Kasi
pwede po
Angel,
bang maging pwede pong maging dalawa yung goal po kapag isang objective function tas dalawang goal, or pwede pong dalawang objective function tas isang goal lang po?
Pwedeng dalawang objective function, isang goal. So sa LP model nito,
Opo, ma'am.
usually yung LP model, isa lang yung kanyang objective function. Pero yung goals, pwede siyang madami. Mamaya, pakita natin dun sa susunod na ano. Pero, yun ay for manual solution. Kapag gumamit kayo ng software, pwede siyang sabay-sabay. Pwedeng max Z, min Z, pwede yung madami. Yung tanong ni Angel, pwede siya, kaya lang hindi siya pwede pareho na manual solution. Pwede gagamit ka na ng software. So, pwede yung pwede yung dalawang objective function, isang goal, or dalawang goal, isang objective function. So, eto, problems are also categorized according to how the goals are compared based on their importance. So, yung first is non-preemptive goal programming. Ano ba pag sinabing preemptive or may preempt? Sabi preemptive. So, pag preemptive, meron na siyang anticipation. Parang alam mo na kung ano yung effect ng objectives sa whole organization. So, yung first na categorization ng goal programs is non-preemptive goal programming, all the goals are of roughly comparable importance. For example, yung 5 subjects mo, yung weight niya sa'yo or yung importance niya sa'yo ay pare-pareho. Kunyari, yung halaga ni OR2 is the same as ergo sa'yo. Same rin siya ng thesis. Same rin siya ng, kunyari, safety. Same rin siya ng thermo. So, pare-pareho lang siya ng importance sa'yo. So, ganun yung non-preemptive. Yung preemptive goal programming, ito rin nasa pretest, there is a hierarchy of priority levels for the goal. Goals of primary importance receive first priority attention, then those of secondary importance receive second priority attention, and so on. For example, dun sa 5 subject, kunyari 5 units yung thesis. So yun yung magiging first priority mo. Then kung i-devote mo yung 1 linggo mo for studies, mas marami kang i-devote na time dun sa thesis kasi siya yung first priority. Then susundan nung kung ano, halimbawa ergo. So magkakaiba yung weight. Kasi pag sinabing preemptive goal programming, na-anticipate mo na pag hindi mo na-achieve yung goal mo for your first priority, parang affected na yung buo mong goal. Yan, hindi ka makatapos ng thesis. Di ka makakagraduate. Mas malaking effect niya compared to the others. So, yung non-preemptive at saka preemptive goal programming. Yan. So, we have 2 examples for today for the non-preemptive goal programming. So, next meeting yung preemptive. Ngayon is non-preemptive muna. Pag non-preemptive, ay pare-pareho ang weight niya. Pare-pareho ang importance. So, example number 1 is the Durite company is considering 3 new products. Pwede kayo mag-notes to replace current models that are being discontinued. So, maglo-launch daw sila ng 3 products na magre-replace dun sa mga kasalukuyang models, pero hindi na siya i-continue. So, their OR department has been assigned the task of determining which mix of these products should be produced. So, the management wants primary consideration given to 3 factors. So, ito na yung important sa management. First is the long-run profit. Second is the stability in the workforce. And the third is the level of capital investment that would be required for the new equipment. So, in particular, the management has established the goals of, so number 1, we should achieve a long-run profit or net present value of at least 125 million from these products. So, anong type ng goal yun? Yung at least 125 million ang long-run profit. Then second, maintain the current employment level of 4,000 employees. So, dun sa lower one-sided, upper one-sided, at saka two-sided, saan pumapatak yung mga objectives na to. So, pag-maintain the current employment level of 4,000 employees. And number 3, we should hold the capital investment to less than 55 million. So, yung number 1, ang limit niya is 125, at least 125. Yung number 2, we maintain it at 4,000. And number 3, it should be less than 55 million. Then, however, the management realizes that it probably will not be possible to attain all these goals simultaneously. So, hindi na posible na sabay-sabay mo siyang ma-achieve. So, it has discussed priorities with the OR department. So, this discussion has led to setting penalty weights of 5 for missing the profit goal. So, if hindi mo ma-achieve yung profit goal of at least 125 million, meron kang penalty of 5 per 1 million under. So, di ba, ang ceiling niya is 125. Dapat yun ang pinakamababa. Kung naka-achieve ka, kunyari, ng 120 lang. So, yung difference niya ay 5. I-multiply mo siya sa penalty of 5. So, yun yung 1 penalty. Then, there is a penalty of 2 for going over the employment goal. That is per 100 employees. Yung employment goal mo is to maintain it at 4,000. Pag nakakuha ka ng 4,500 employees, so may excess siyang 500, then divided by 100, 5 times 2. That's the penalty. Pag over. Then, there's also a penalty of 4 for going under the same goal. Pag naman mas mababa siya sa 4,000, kunyari 3,500. So, ang difference nun ay 500 divided by 100, 5 times 4. So, hindi, etong sa employment goal, isa lang dyan yung kung may penalty, kung hindi niya ma-achieve yung 4,000, isa lang dyan yung magiging multiplier. Hindi siya pwedeng sabay. Kasi it's either mas mataas ka or mas mababa. Hindi siya pwedeng yung 2 at 4 ay parehong may multiplier sa objective function. And then, yung 3 is for exceeding the capital investment goal. Di ba ang ceiling niya ay 55. Kapag naging 60 million yung capital investment mo, so meron kang excess na 5 million. So 5 times 3, that's the penalty. Nagets po yung sa penalty.
Yes po, ma'am.
So each new product's contribution to profit, employment level, and capital investment level is proportional to the rate of production. So para lang din siyang linear program, if you produce 20 units of product A with a profit of 20, the profit, unit profit of 20, yung total profit would be 400. Parang ganun siya, proportional. So that is problem number 1. So the Durite company problem includes all the 3 possible types of goals. Di ba? Meron siyang lower one-sided, upper one-sided, at saka two-sided goal. So hindi naman lahat ng problems incorporated yung tatlo. Nagkataong ito, nandun lang siya lahat. So going back to the problem, kinulit ko na lang dito kasi masyado na siyang mahaba. So from the problem, ito yung statement, in particular, management has established the goals of achieving a long-run profit or net present value of at least 125 million from these products. 2 is to maintain the current employment level of 4,000 employees. And number 3 is to hold the capital investment to less than 55 million. So, which of these goals is the lower or one-sided goal? Alin dyan yung nagsiset ng lower limit?
Yung ano po, ma'am, yung unang statement po.
Yung unang statement na, number 1, achieving a long-run profit of at least 125 million from these products. Dapat, yun ay pinakamababa nating profit. The two-sided goal. Alin yung two-sided goal?
Yung may 4,000.
Yung to maintain the current employment level of 4,000 employees. Dapat strictly 4,000 siya. And number 3, so ito na yung huli, syempre. The upper one-sided goal is to hold the capital investment to less than 55 million. So usually, yung lower, yun yung sa mga associated with the profit. Then yung upper, usually sa cost siya. So, just a review, yung lower one-sided goal is the goal number 1, the long-run profit of at least 125 million. Then, the two-sided goal is goal number 2, which is to maintain the current employment level of 4,000 employees. And then, the upper one-sided goal is goal number 3, which is to hold the investment of less than 55 million. So, this table summarizes the data of the problem, including the goals and penalty weights. Some of these items are not included dun sa story. Dito pa lang siya nilalagay. So, yung factors are our goals. So, those are the long-run profit, the employment level, and capital investment. Yung under dito sa unit contribution or product, ito ay given pa rin ha. Given pa rin siya, naka-table. So 12, 9, and 15. So first, we have to understand, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng values na yan? Kunyari yung 12, what does 12 means? Yung under nung 1 at saka yung intersection ng product 1 and long run profit. What does 12 means? Tawag tayo. Si Ibon. Binuwek. Si Ibon. Si Grace Gaston. What is the meaning ng 12? Oh, si Kyle.
Ay,
Ay, sorry, nagtaas siya ng...
ay sige po.
Yung mga number na po yan is parang dinidictate niya kung ano yung profit na makukuha mo kada product po.
So, ano yung contribution nung product na yun sa profit? For example, yung 12. Yung 12 is per unit of product 1, ito yung contribution niya sa profit. Kunyari, $12 or kung ano man ang unit niya. Yung 9, yun yung contribution of product 2 to profit. Yung 15, contribution of profit to profit. So, pag profit-wise, pinakamalaki yung contribution ni product 3. Employment level, kunyari 5, 3, and 4. O si Grace na. Grace, ikaw na dito. Ano ibig sabihin ng 3?
Ano po ma'am, yung pinaka-employment goal po
Employment
ng
goal?
bawat product po?
Or yung employment requirement per product. Kunyari sa product 1, ang requirement niya to produce a product 1, so dadaan siya sa 5 employees. Si product 2 for 3 employees and si product 3 for employees. So ano yung requirement naman dun sa employees. Then capital investment, meron siyang values na 5, 7, and 8. Ano naman yung ibig sabihin ng 8? Si Joyce Ann Costello.
Yun po yung contribution of product po ng product 3 sa capital investment po.
Contribution ng product 3 sa capital investment. Or gaano kalaki yung ini-invest natin per product. For example, yung 5, para makapag-produce ka ng a unit of product 1, ang investment mo ay $5. Para makapag-produce ka ng product 2, your investment is $7. To produce a unit of product 3, your investment is $8. So, ganun siya. Dapat maintindihan mo natin yung laman ng table before we proceed with the solution. Then, yung goals or units dito sa part na to are yung dinefine natin kanina, that the long run profit should be at least $125 million. The employees should be strictly or equal to 4,000, and the capital investment should be hanggang $55 million lang. Less than $55 million. Then, yung penalty weight ay nandun sa second page ng problem. So, in-insert ko na lang dito. So, the discussion has led to setting the penalty weights of 5 for missing the profit goal per 1 million under. So, yung penalty weight for the long run profit is 5. So, 2, doon naman sa employment level, if you are over 4,000, merong penalty na 2. So, yung plus sign dito is parang additional dun sa 4,000. Then siya plus. Then, if the value of or the number of your employees went under the required value na 4,000, yung penalty is 4. So, yung minus is kapag mas mababa. Then, capital investment, meron siyang penalty na 3. For kapag nag-increase or nag-exceed yung capital investment natin dun sa required lang na 55. So, in summary, ito yung table that we will use to formulate the model for example number 1. Questions po sa penalty weights at sa goals ng problem. Naintindihan po yung kwento. So, meron lang silang, magpo-produce sila ng 3 products to replace yung mga products na i-discontinue nila. Then, meron silang ganitong profits. Then, pag hindi na-achieve yung profit na yon, meron siyang penalty. So, ganun yung essence ng problem. So, let us define the decision variables for this problem. Ano ba yung, or ilan yung decision variables? So, sabi ni Ella kanina, ang decision variables daw are the unknowns. Ano yung unknowns dito sa problem na to?
Ma'am, yung mga long run profit po, employee level, and capital investment po.
Yung long run profit and capital investment, are those decision variables or goals? Palitan natin, example. Based from the table, alin dyan yung decision variables? Alin yung unknowns?
Ma'am, yung penalty weight po.
Penalty weight? Pero alam na natin yung penalty.
Yung unit contribution, ma'am.
Ano ba?
Yung unit contribution po.
Unit contribution? So, pero define yung unit contribution dito.
Yung number po ng products.
Number of products. Sino pa si Janine? So, since we have 3 products to produce na hindi natin alam yung quantity, we will have 3 decision variables. So we will let X1 as the production rate of product 1 or the amount of or the number of units of product 1 to be produced. Kasi ito rin yung magde-define ng profit and the employment level and the capital investment based dun sa table. So yung X1 is for product 1. Then X2 is the production rate of product 2 and X3 is the production rate of product 3. So if you have 5 or 10 products, mas maraming decision variables na i-define. So the decision variables for this problem are X1 and X2 and X3 for products 1, 2, and 3 respectively. So questions po sa DV. So yung definition natin ng DV is just the same sa linear programming. Parang ganun lang din siya. Okay po, products 1, 2, and 3.
Yes po.
Okay. So now, goals. Yung goals are just objective functions but with ano yung dinagdag. So yung goals ay dati siyang objective function. Meron kang idadagdag na value para maging goal siya. Anong tawag doon?
Aspiration level po.
Aspiration levels. So goals are just objective functions with aspiration levels. So to define those goals, gamitan natin yung table kanina. So first, we define the profit goal. So how will we formulate yung parang constraint structure for our long-run profit goal? So yung long-run profit goal ay nandito sa row 1. Long-run profit, yung product 1 contributes 12 to the profit, product 2 ay 9, product 3 ay 15, and the goal is to have at least $125 million. How will you convert that into an equation?
Ano po? 12, sorry.
Okay, slide ba to?
12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 is greater than or equal to $125 million po.
Okay. So, thank you. Yung profit goal is just, para siyang, yung structure niya ay constraint, di ba? Pero siya ay objective function with aspiration level. So, yung profit goal is just 12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 is greater than or equal to 25. So, galing siya dito. Yan. Nandun na siya sa table. Then, next is the employment goal. Paano naman yung equation to achieve yung desired number of employees. Employment goal. Si JP.
Ano po, ma'am? 5x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 equals to 4,000 po.
So, for the employment goal, that is 5x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 is equal to 4,000. Then yung last is for the investment goal. Diba? The goal is to invest lang hanggang 55. Yun lang dapat yung ma-consume mo for your investment. What is the equation? Si ba naman? Si Maureen. Si Maureen Santiago.
5x1 plus 7x2 plus 8x3 less than or equal to 55.
So, for the investment goal, your equation is 5x1 plus 7x2 plus 8x3 is less than or equal to 55. So, lahat yan ay na-derive from the table. So, yun yung ating goals. Kaya yung structure niya para siyang constraints from the LP, di ba? So, using the penalty weights given, we will define Z as the number of penalty points incurred by missing these goals. So, di ba, yung goal, yung objective function for a goal program is to minimize the penalty. So, we will minimize, or we should minimize the deviation from what we desire to what we actually achieve. So, itong penalty weights, if hindi mo ma-achieve yung goal mo for this 3, ito yung mga corresponding penalties nila. So, yung equation dito is we minimize Z. Then, we minimize Z, summation lang siya ng mga penalties. So, 5. Kailan applicable yung penalty na 5? Kailan ka lang magbibigay ng penalty?
Pag hindi po umabot ng $125 million yung profit.
Kapag hindi umabot ng $125 million yung profit. Pag siya ay under 125. So yung 5, you will multiply that to the amount if the amount is under the long run profit goal. If siya ay excess ng 125, walang penalty. Kasi siya ay lower one-sided goal. Then yung second penalty, penalty is 2 plus 2. Kailan tayo magpe-penalty ng plus 2?
Over the employment level mo.
If the amount is over the employment level goal. So yung define natin kanina, if it is above 4,000, merong penalty na 2. Then yung 4, we will use the 4 na penalty if the employment level is what?
Pag mas mababa po dun sa employment level po.
So if the amount is under the employment level goal. And yung last is the 3. So we will use lang yung 3 if the amount is above or under.
Above po.
Above or over. So if the amount is over the capital investment goal. So parang ganito yung structure ng ating objective function. So we minimize Z is equal to 5 times the amount under the long run profit goal plus 2 times the amount over the employment level goal plus 4 times the amount under the employment level goal and plus 3 times the amount over the capital investment goal. Kaya lang, diba, pag objective function, usually meron siyang variables to represent, diba? Nyari, we minimize Z is equal to 5x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3 plus 3x4. But for this example, wala pa tayong variables to define if yung long-run profit goal ba natin ay above or under. So, to help us, so to express this overall objective mathematically, auxiliary variables or extra variables that are helpful in formulating the model will be introduced. So para magkaroon ng variable yung objective function, we will use auxiliary variables. So you can use any letter or kahit small letters. Pero in this case, we can use or we will use y's. So y1, y2, and y3. So y1 is equal to 12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 minus 25. This is the long run profit minus the target. So yung equation kanina for the long run profit goal. The equation is 12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 is greater than or equal to 125. So yung y1, we just used y1 to define kung ano yung difference between the requirement and the target. For example, if yung value ni x1, x2, and x3 ay 10, kunyari 10 siya, so i-multiply mo siya sa 12, sa 9, at 17, tapos i-minus mo ng 125. So yung value ni y1 is positive. Diba? Kunyari 120 plus 90 plus 150 minus 125. So positive value yung lalabas na yun. But, for example, 1 lang yung values niya. 12 times 1 plus 9 times 1 plus 15 times 1. So, ilan to? So, yung value na yun, minus 125, that is negative. So, when you achieve a negative value, doon lang siya magkakaroon ng penalty. Diba? Yung 5 natin is we multiply it to the amount under the long-run profit goal. Yung y1 or auxiliary variables, we'll just use it para there is an excess variable that will help us in formulating the model for the objective function kasi wala siyang variable kanina. Then yung y2, so this is for the employment level minus the target. Yung equation kanina, 5x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 is equal to 400. So, nilagay natin yung y2 to denote the difference between the requirement and the target. Then yung y3 is for the capital investment minus the target. Ito yung requirement minus the target. So that is the difference, yung y3. So yung y1, y2, and y3, they can have positive and negative values. So pag yung variable, di ba, yung decision variables, they can only have positive values kasi dinedefine natin sila sa non-negativity constraint. Di ba? Pero yung auxiliary variables na y1, y2, and y3, they can have positive and negative values. Pag yung variables ay pwede siyang positive or negative yung value, they are called unrestricted. So pag unrestricted, walang restriction. Kahit anong values, pwede sa kanya. And a rule for unrestricted variables, since y1, y2, and y3 are unrestricted variables, they can be replaced by the difference of two non-negative variables. So yung y1, y2, and y3, pwede siyang mapalitan ng difference, so may minus something, ng two non-negative variables. So, paano natin siya dinadissect? So, yung y1, which is an unrestricted variable, magiging difference siya, kaya may minus dito, of two non-negative variables. So, yung y sub 1 positive and y sub 1 negative. So, they are non-negative variables. Hindi sila negative variables. Yung plus lang dito, yung plus sign, siya yung nagde-denote na yung value na nakuha mo is above the target. Etong minus is pag below the target. Naintindihan po?
Opo, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Hello. Okay. So, yung unrestricted variables, na pag sabing unrestricted, they can have positive and negative values. So, yung mga x1, x2, and x3 natin, from the previous examples, are not unrestricted variables, di ba? But i-define natin sa non-negativity constraint that x1, x2, x3, and so on should have values na greater than or equal to 0. Pero ito, hindi siya ganoon. Unrestricted siya. Kahit anong value pwede sa kanya. Pwedeng positive, pwedeng negative. And if you have unrestricted variables, you can replace them by the difference of two non-negative variables. So yung y sub 1 is equal to y sub 1 na may positive minus y sub 1 na negative. So y sub 1 positive and y sub 1 negative are two non-negative variables. Then kung ano yung ginawa mo sa y sub 1, i-apply mo rin siya for the rest of the restricted variables. So y2 is equal to y2 positive minus y2 negative. Then y3 is equal to y3 positive minus y3 negative. So yun, yung mga positive dito to denote yung values na above the target. Ito naman, values na under the target. Okay po. So given the new auxiliary variables, ayan yung tatlo, the overall objective function can be expressed mathematically as, di ba yung definition natin kanina ng objective function, sobrang mahaba. Yan. So minimize z is equal to 5 times the amount under plus 2 times the amount over plus 4 times the amount under plus 3 times the amount over. Now, pwede natin siyang lagyan ng variables. So we minimize z is equal to 5. Ano yung magiging variables to represent that the amount is under the long run profit goal. So yung long run profit goal is y1. Pwede mo siyang i-dissect into y1 positive and y1 negative. Alin dun sa dalawa yung mag-represent that the amount is under the goal?
Y1 negative po.
Y1 negative. So yung positive po, pag siya ay bibigyan ko na ng hint yung mga susunod din. Yung positive is if it's above the target, yung negative if it's below the target. So yung 5 will be multiplied by y1 negative plus 2. So ito ay nasagot na natin. Yung 2 will be multiplied to the amount over the employment level goal. So yung amount over, ito yung for the employment goal, di ba? Ito yung long run profit, employment, capital investment. Yung 2 will be multiplied with
What?
Y2 positive po.
y2 positive plus 4, the amount under the employment level goal.
Yeah.
That is
Y3 negative.
y3, y2.
Y2 po.
y2 negative plus 3 times the amount over
Y3 positive po.
Y3 positive. So ito yung ating objective function for this problem. So if you will see, pag lower one-sided, isang term lang siya sa objective function plus the upper one-sided. Ito diba, lower one-sided, yung 5y1. This is upper one-sided. Then yung two-sided, two terms siya sa objective function. Plus, you can see, hindi rin kasama si y1 positive. Bakit hindi kasama si y1 positive?
Kasi wala
po
Kasi? Si Lloyd. Open ang mic.
po ma'am? Kasi po ma'am, ang hinahanap lang naman po is yung yung nag-fall ng under profit goal po, yung parang penalty po.
So may penalty lang siya kapag mas mababa. So since yung y1 positive denotes na mas mataas yung value. So pag ito ay profit, so pag mas mataas yung profit, mas okay. So wala siyang penalty. Then wala din yung y3 negative. Bakit? Bakit wala yung y3 negative?
Parang vice versa lang po ma'am nung nangyari sa isa pam. Na
Sa
pag
una.
Opo ma'am. Na kapag
So,
ano po.
Sorry, sige.
Okay na po ma'am, thank you.
So parang vice versa daw. Since yung third, yung y3 is for the capital investment, and then yung negative dito denotes mas mababa yung na-incur na or nabigay na capital. So pag mas mababa siya dun sa limit mo na 55, mas okay. So wala siyang penalty. Yung penalty lang is kapag lumampas. So etong dalawang to, yung y1 positive and y3 negative, ay not included dun sa objective function because nga dun sa one-sided goals silang dalawa. Pero vice versa, magkahiwalay. Parang magkabaligtad yung ibig sabihin. So question po dun sa objective function.
Ma'am, constant na po yun, nawala na po yung y1 positive dun po no, sa yung dalawa pong sa one-sided na vice versa. Constant na po, nawala na yung talaga sa objective function.
Okay. So, ganun lang siya kasi dinefine natin yung y1 as a profit. Pero kung baligtad siya, halimbawa, si y1 yung capital investment, si y3 yung profit, baligtad naman siya. Ang wala naman dito, si y1 negative at si y3 positive. Depende sa goal. Kung halimbawa, si y1 yung ginawa mong sa employment level. Halimbawa, ito si employment level. Makasulat. Tapos, ito si long run profit goal. LP. Tapos, ayan. Sige, ito na lang si capital investment. So, yung nasa objective function mo, since employment ay two-sided, yung y1 positive at y1 negative, pareho siyang nandoon. Gets?
Gets po.
Oh, tapos, yung long profit, si y2 positive yung nasa equation. Tapos, yung sa capital, si y3 negative yung nasa equation. Depende sa goal.
Okay, thank you po.
Okay. Anong po? Wala na?
Hello, ma'am.
Ito si Eva. Okay.
Yung kanina po, ma'am, kasi parang naka--4 po siya. Magiging plus na po ba dito? Sa ano?
Ay, saan?
Sa ano po, employment level goal? Kasi po naka-4 po siya kanina.
Sa table.
Apo.
Balikan natin yung table.
Plus 2 po yata and -2 or 2 plus.
Ito.
Apo.
So, yung minus dito, nagde-denote lang siya na
Under
mas
po.
mabaga. Under siya.
Okay
Hindi siya
po.
sign ng 4.
Okay,
Okay
ma'am.
na.
Thank you po.
Okay na. Wait lang, nasa na. question po dito sa hanggang objective function.
Ma'am, always lang po siya, positive siya, ma'am. Yung i-add lang po siya pag, what if maximize Z po, ma'am, ang mangyari, magiging minus po yung sign po ng ganun po. Parang
Kasi
magiging,
pag penalty, di ba, we minimize the penalty.
always minimization lang po.
Pag penalty ang given.
Thank you po, ma'am.
We minimize the sum. Kasi yung definition kanina, medyo malayo na. Pag goal programming, we minimize the sum, kaya siya laging plus, of the penalties. Yun. Meron ba? Question. Okay na po.
Okay na po sa akin.
Okay na. May nagtatanong. Ayun. So, okay na yung objective function. So, to complete the conversion of this goal programming problem to a linear programming model, the above definitions, so yung YJ, kaya lang siya naging YJ, para hindi ko na isulat yung 1, 2, 3 na madami. So, J represents 1, 2, 3, and so on. So, the above definitions of YJ positive and YJ negative must also be incorporated directly into the model. Diba yung definition natin ng goal kanina, nagkaroon na siya ng Y dun sa left side is equal to the requirement minus the aspiration level. Diba naging gano'n na siya? Kaya naging ganyan na yun. So for the profit goal, yung ating equation, naging Y sub 1 is equal to 12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 minus 125. So yung Y1 na to, i-apply na natin yung definition niya na it is the difference of two non-negative variables. Sa mangyayari, i-transfer lang natin. So ito, yung next na equation, transfer ko lang yung lahat ng variables sa left side, yung lahat ng constant nasa right side para magkakasama. Right-hand side solution, left side is the variables, so x1, x2, and x3, and yung y1. Then, yung right side ay yung constant, yung 125. So, yung y1, i-replace na natin siya ng equation ng y1 kanina. Y sub 1 is equal to y sub 1 positive minus y sub 1 negative. So, papalitan mo lang yung y1. Magiging 12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 minus y1 positive minus y1 negative is equal to 125 para proportion siya dun sa objective function. So, yun siya. Replace mo lang siya nung dinisect mong auxiliary variables. Question po dito. So, ito yung sa ano na to, yung sa goals. Yung formulation niya ay parang constraints. Question po. Hello?
Wala naman po, ma'am.
Okay. So, proceeding in the same way for the rest of the goals. The following linear programming formulation of this goal programming is obtained. So, ito na yung summary ng goals natin. So, ito yung na-derive natin na objective function. Minimize z is equal to 5y sub 1 negative plus 2y sub 2 positive plus 4y sub 2 negative plus 3y sub 3 positive. Ito lang yung kanina. Yung define natin yung may amount under, amount over. Pinalitan natin ng y sub negative or y sub positive. So, yun siya. Then, yung constraints or yung goals ngayon na itsurang constraints dati. So, 12x1 plus 9x2 plus 15x3 minus yung summation, the difference nung two non-negative variables. So, y sub 1 positive at saka y sub 1 negative is equal to 125. So, yung goal for the employment at saka for the capital investment lalagyan mo lang din siya or i-replace mo lang yung y nila ng ganito. Nakaiba lang sa sum. So for the employment, magiging x1 plus 3 plus 4x3 plus y2 positive ay minus y2 positive minus y2 negative is equal to the aspiration level of 4,000. And then yung last is yung 5x1 plus 7x2 plus 8x3 minus y3 positive minus y3 negative is equal to 55. So ganun lang siya. Isang objective function, then kung ilan yung goals mo, yun yung bilang then nung subject 2. Since tatlo lang yung goals natin, so tatlo lang din siya. Question po. So mas marami lang tong variables kaysa sa linear programming. Question po. Wala.
Wala naman po, ma'am.
Wala naman. Okay. Ay, ito pala last. So kung ano yung dinefine mo na variables, kailangan mo lang siyang gawin na greater than or equal to 0. Parang yung sa non-negativity constraint for LP problems. So if the original problem had any actual linear programming constraints, such as constraints on fixed amount of certain resources being available, sorry, this would be included in the model. So if meron kang regular lang na constraint, kunyari ay availability of materials, ay ganito lang siya karami. Ito kasing problem na to, puro lang siya goals yung naging constraint natin. But if you have the usual constraints, yung katulad ng mga normal constraint natin, kunyari market limit, demand limit, na ganun, include pa rin siya sa model. Nagkataon nga lang na ito, wala siyang ganung constraints. Pero kapag meron, isasama na lang siya doon. Parang yung usual LP. Okay po? Question. Wala?
Pwede pong makita ulit, ma'am, yung parang non-negativity constraint po.
Ayan. Yun lang siya, yung mga dinefine mo na bago. Yung decision variables plus yung hinati-hating y1, gano'n. Should be non-negative.
Thank you po.
Okay. Question po? Walang question. May isa pang example, pero break muna 10 minutes. So, 9:40, 9:50. Tapos 10 minutes natin i-discuss yung isa. Okay, break muna. Okay na po? Nakabalik na ba yung iba? So, yung last example, yan, example number 2. Sa goal programming nga lang, medyo mahahaba yung problems. Kasi mas marami siyang goals na naka-incorporate. So, example number 2, the Leon Burnett Advertising Agency is trying to determine a TV advertising schedule for Chrysler Auto Company. So, yung Chrysler has 3 goals. The goal number 1, its ads should be seen by at least 40 million high-income men, or shortcut niya HIM. Goal number 2, its ads should be seen by at least 60 million low-income people, or the LIP. And then yung goal number 3, its ads should be seen by at least 35 million high-income women, or HIW. So yung 3 goals, puro siya at least, di ba? At least 40, at least 60, and at least 35. So yung goals na yun, under siya ng anong types of goals? Is it lower one-sided goal, or upper one-sided goal, or two-sided goal?
Lower one-sided goal po.
So silang tatlo ay under ng lower one-sided goal. Kasi meron siyang may lower limit of at least this million. So Leon Burnett can purchase 2 types of ads. Those shown during football games and those shown during soap operas. So at most, $600,000 can be spent on ads. The advertising cost and potential audiences of a 1-minute ad of each type are shown in the next table. So panote na lang nung goal ha. Goal number 1 is at least 40 for HIM. Goal number 2 is at least 60 for LIP. And goal number 3 is at least 35 for HIW. Then meron lang tayong limit na at most $600,000 yung spendings doon sa ad. And ano pang details dito? There are 2 types of ads that you can purchase. So meron sa football games and sa soap operas. So halos yun lang yung details dito sa first slide and second slide. Yan. So from the table, nandyan yung ads. Pwede siya sa football or soap operas. Then this is the millions of viewers per type of ad kung saan siya ipapalabas. Nyari, for the softball, kapag siya ay na-release sa softball as a softball ad, it can reach 7 million high-income men, or 10 million low-income people, or 5 million high-income women. But per minute, I think this is per minute, yung cost niya is $100,000. Then if sa soap opera naman siya, it can reach 3 million high-income men, 5 million low-income people, and 4 million high-income women. Pero mas mababa yung cost niya, $60,000. So however, the agency then realized that it is impossible to meet all of Chrysler's goals. So Burnett might ask Chrysler to identify for each goal, wala siyang dot, and small letter A siya, a cost per unit short of meeting each goal that is incurred for failing to meet the goal. So, pag hindi rin na-meet yung goal, there are certain penalties. So, each million exposures by which Chrysler falls short of the HIM goal, so ano yung HIM goal? That is 40 million. Pag hindi siya na-attain, meron siyang penalty na $200,000. So, yung second, each million exposures by which Chrysler falls short of the LIP goal na 60 million, meron siyang penalty na $100,000. Then yung third, if hindi rin ma-attain yung goal sa high-income women na 35, meron siyang penalty na $50,000. So, Leon Burnett must determine how many football ads and soap opera ads to purchase for Chrysler. So, anong summary ng kwento? Diba, meron kang gaano kadaming football ads and soap opera ads yung bibilhin para ma-achieve or ma-attain yung ganitong kadaming viewers. Then, if hindi siya ma-achieve, merong certain penalties. So, parang ganun yung kwento. Then, determine natin yung decision variables. Ilan yung decision variables for this problem?
Dalawa lang po.
Dalawa lang. Ano yung dalawang yon?
X1 po yung kung ilan po yung sa football na ads. So yung X2 po yung sa soap opera po.
So X1 is the number of minutes of ads shown during football games, while X2 is the number of minutes of ads shown during soap operas. So kung mayroon pang ibang given kung saan pwedeng i-play yung ads, meron pa siyang additional variables. But since we have only football games and soap operas, yun lang yung decision variables natin for this problem. Next. So the stated goals can be represented as, so, di ba meron tayong tatlong lower one-sided goals. Tingnan natin dyan sa ating table. And how will we define our goal for the high-income men? Ano yung, kung na-note nyo yung requirements sa high-income men. Ilan siya? 40 million. So, paano natin isusulat yung constraint or the goal for the high-income men?
7x1 po. 7x1 plus 3x2 is greater than or equal to 40.
So, 7x1 plus 3x2 is greater than or equal to 40. Ito yung nasa statement kanina sa goal number 1. And yung 7 dito is from here. Yung sa football na HIM. And yung 3 is galing dito. So, 7 is multiplied to x1 kasi si football ay represented by x1 dun sa decision variables. And then yung 3 is multiplied to x2 since soap operas is for x2. Then, for the LIP or the low-income people, ano yung ating, sige po.
10x1 plus 5x2 is greater than or equal to 60 po.
60. So 10x1 plus 5x2 is greater than or equal to 60 for the low-income people. And then next is the high-income women. Ano yung goal for the high-income women?
Ano po, 5x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 35.
So 5x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to 35. Meron pa bang other constraints?
Yung sa $600,000 na cost po.
$600,000 na cost. So paano natin siya i-convert into a constraint? So ito ay constraint na talaga, hindi na siya goal.
100,000 x1 plus 60,000 x2 is less than or equal to 600,000.
So yung budget constraint will become 100x1, shortcut lang ito. 100x1 plus 60x2 is less than or equal to 600 for the budget constraint. So ito, ibang type naman to ng goal programming. Diba? Kanina, for type goals. Parang yung constraint natin are pure goals. Ito, we have goals and yung common na constraint. So pwede yung may additional constraint doon sa goal programming model. Then, we add the auxiliary variables to these goals. Yung sa y sub 1 plus or y sub 2 plus. Yung 7x1 plus 3x2 is greater than or equal to 40. Diba kanina, shortcut lang natin ito. Yung kanina, y1 is equal to the requirement minus the aspiration level. So, kung lalagyan natin siya ng auxiliary variable, it will become 7x1 plus 3x2 minus yung dinisect na auxiliary variable, may positive value and may negative value. That is equal to 40. So, parang kayo na kasi ano pa natin eh. Yung y1 nilagay pa natin sa left, and then lahat ng terms nilagay natin sa right, tapos binalik natin ulit. Ito, parang mas malinaw. Nasundan po.
Yes po.
Same lang siya nung process kanina. Ito lang, mas dinirect na lang natin ngayon. Then, dun sa low-income people, yung kanyang constraint or yung goal niya is 10x1 plus 5x2 is greater than or equal to 60. Since ito yung second natin, yung auxiliary variable dito is y2. So, yung statement becomes 10x1 plus 5x2 minus y2 positive minus y2 negative is equal to 60 yung requirement. Then, yung pang-third, yung high-income women with a goal na 5x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to 35. We add the auxiliary variables, so it becomes 5x1 plus 4x2 minus y3 positive minus y3 negative is equal to 35. And then yung last, yung constraint na 100x1 plus 60x2 is less than or equal to 600. Meron ba siyang auxiliary variable or wala?
Wala po.
Wala siya dahil
Yung auxiliary variable sa goal.
Si Lloyd, o ikaw muna Lloyd.
Yung auxiliary variables po para lang po sa goal.
Para lang sa goal. At saka, ano pa? Bakit wala siyang auxiliary variable? Yung budget constraint kasi ay walang
penalty po.
Wala siyang penalty. Diba? So, wala siyang auxiliary variable kasi wala naman tayong multiplier doon sa objective function. So, yung constraint niya, as is lang siya. Pag hindi siya goal, wala siyang auxiliary variable. So, yung 100x1 plus 60x2 is less than or equal to 600 as is. Wala kang idadagdag. So, later na lang yung additional na slack or surplus variables kapag sinolve mo na siya. Diba? Dapat ito ay magiging equal sign. So, yun po. Auxiliary variables are for goals. Pag constraint po, walang auxiliary variables. Okay po?
Okay po, ma'am.
Okay, wala nang energy. Ayan. Madali na lang po. So, given the new auxiliary variables, the overall objective function can be expressed mathematically as, so ito naman, we will define our objective function. Kaya lang, masyado na mahaba, ito na lang yung clip ng statements na identified yung penalty. So, if hindi ma-achieve yung HIM goal, the penalty is 200,000. Kapag hindi na-achieve ang LIP goal, the penalty is 100,000, ay kulang ng 0. And if hindi ma-achieve yung sa high-income women goal, the penalty is 50,000. So, paano natin siya i-define as an objective function? Diba siya ay lower one-sided. So, for HIM, tayo ay Y1. For LIP, tayo ay Y2. For HIW, tayo ay Y3. So, tayo ba ay Y1 positive or Y1 negative? Kailan ba may penalty? Pag?
Negative po.
Negative, pag nag-fall short. So, in short, yung ating objective function, for example, number 2, is we minimize Z is equal to 200 times Y1 negative kasi may penalty lang kapag short siya. Ayan, pag hindi niya na-achieve yung requirement. Plus 100,000, walang 0 to times Y2 negative plus 50 times Y3 negative. So, wala si Y1 positive, Y2 positive, and Y3 positive kasi wala namang penalty kapag may excess. So, pag mas maraming ang exposure, di mas maganda. Parang mas advantageous dun sa company. So, yun, and ito na yung complete LP model. So, here is the objective function. The first goal sa HIM, second goal for the LIP, and the third goal for the HIW, plus the budget constraint. And all the variables should be greater than or equal to 0. So yun po yung non-preemptive goal programming. Questions?
Bali ma'am, pagkuha pa lang po siya nung parang LP model po ma'am.
Wala pang solution. Parang nung OR1.
Okay po ma'am.
Question po.
Ayan na po yung
Ha?
last na po. Last na tanong na po.
Oo, last na yan. Last na yan.
Ito na po yung makikita mismo na LP model niya po ma'am. Ito na po yung parang, ito po dapat yung makita sa solution po ma'am.
Oo. Kung ang problem ay formulation, ito yung ganitong type, dapat yung sagot.
Okay po.
Ganito yung structure.
Ako po ma'am meron.
Sino to? Eva. Eva.
Di ba ma'am, pag minimization po, bali penalty po kapag minimize. Minimize, penalty po yung ano. Paano po pag, ano po example kapag mag-maximize naman po? Example lang. Kapag
Kasi ang yung maximization, nandun na siya sa loob, nandun na siya sa goal. Diba? Kunyari, we maximize the profit. Oo, nandun na siya sa loob. Parang ang nasa objective function na lang is if hindi pa natin ma-achieve yung goals natin, doon na siya pupunta. Parang usually, minimization talaga siya. Kasi minimize natin yung difference. Kung gaano kalayo.
Sige po ma'am, thank you po.
Yeah. Ano pa? Meron pa. Anong po? Naintindihan po? Hindi rin.
Naintindihan po, ma'am.
Naintindihan po, ma'am.
Ano pang tanong? So, next meeting po, so ito ay non-preemptive. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang, walang priority. Pare-pareho. So, in next meeting, may preemptive. Alin dun sa mga goals, yung dapat first priority ko, alin yung second, and so on. So, yun yung sa next meeting. Okay? So, if wala pong tanong, paki-access yung nilagay ko sa group chat for post-test. For 3 minutes. Or less. Responses. 22. Okay po, pag nakapag-answer na ng post-test, pwede na pong mag-exit. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.